Hi, I'm Dr. Sean, as you can tell by my nifty glasses and suitable... What? Today I'm going to be talking to you about the penis. Yes, the male thing called the penis. And I'm going to be talking to you about penis today. Reproduction organ called the penis. The penis can be used for things such as sex, masturbation, and peeing. Penises come in all different sizes. Lip stain containers, bottles of things you shouldn't be drinking, and speakers. I hope not that large. Small things that look like penises as well, because some are small. Mushrooms and anteaters. So today I'm going to be talking to you about many of the differentiable traits of the penis. I think that's right. I'm going to be talking to you about I'm going to be talking to you about different penises today. And the important thing to know about penises is that they do come in many different sizes and shapes and blah 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 blah. These things that I'm going to be discussing about peni, the plural penis, of course. Oh well, Tommy has a small penis because he was never very nice to the girls when he was younger, or he never listened to his parents. So let's give him a chode. No, that's not how it works. So now, determinant number 1. The mother of all determinants: size. The average seems to be falling around 6 inches, which is about here. Half this ruler here. That's pretty big, in my opinion. Point being, most people I talk to, surprisingly, you think like people would be like, oh, I'm 8 inches, blah 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 blah. Most people I talk to say they're average or around average or almost average, meaning they're probably in the 5.5 to 6.2 region. Most of the surveys on the internet seem to go from 5.5 to 6.2 in average. So if you're expecting like mother monster cock 8 inches, well, possible. You're being very unrealistic. Size queen, meaning someone who enjoys the larger side of life. Like, oh, I only like big dicks. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Point being, average around 6. Many people are way smaller. This one man who was, I think, around 1 inches, and he had to get all this surgery just to get up to 4. And that's still below the average. The majority of guys are self-conscious in some way, whether they admit it or not. I know one guy who was like 8 or 9 inches that was still self-conscious because he thought it was too thin. Whoa. Wow. Everyone's just obsessed with every diameter of the dick, which is ridiculous. You shouldn't be ashamed if you're more on this side of the scale or more on that side of the scale. And you shouldn't brag either. If you do happen to be a little lucky in the pants, that doesn't mean you should go around going, oh, I have such a large cock. No one gives a shit. No, actually some people do. If you have it, it should be like the pot at the end of the rainbow. That could also be a bad thing though. Some people don't like big dicks. They don't like big dicks. First off, they can hurt. 2, they can be just a little too scary, you know? And 3, I don't have a 3. But the point is, some people don't like them. Some people enjoy bigger. Some people, hopefully, most people just don't care. That's the big yay. So I'm not sure if this is a good example or not, but I'll try to do it. So imagine these are like dangly balls. So that's a dangly ball, and then like this is like tight balls. Well, I guess some people, I've heard people go like, oh my god, he has such dangly balls. I thought they were supposed to be dangly. No, like I mean, they dangle like really low. Huh. Wow, that sucks. Oh, I can imagine you can't do stuff with dangly balls. Like, your cock take advantage of them if they're dangly, or if they're not, like whatever, like who cares? I think people just like to complain no matter what they get. They're like, this one's a dangly ball. Oh god. That's like, I don't even know what that's like. That beats me. Cut versus uncut. I'm speaking a little bit. If you don't understand the reference I'm making, I'm talking about circumcised versus uncircumcised. And what that is, uncircumcised is the natural state of the penis, meaning there's a foreskin. Or as some like to call it, it's an anteater. Circumcised is when you have the foreskin removed at birth or at various other times in your life, the person's life, depending on if there's medical issues or something. Point being, there are people who have a circumcised penis and there are people who don't. And because there's that variance, that means people are picky about which one they like. That's how it usually goes. If you have options, you get to be picky, and people tend to be picky. So now we go into another area where even though they might not be born with a circumcised penis, they usually don't have a choice on whether they're circumcised. So we go into another area of they did not do anything to deserve or undeserve a circumcised penis or whatever their penis is. It's not like, oh, we taught our son a lesson when he wasn't listening. We cut off part of his dick. No. A lot of it tends to be a religious custom, or maybe just a socially acceptable thing to do in a country like United States. Very popular it was. It's slowly declining. Yeah. And some people go, oh, I like the uncircumcised penis because it's fuller or it's more to play with, all that stuff. Like, do you see where I'm coming from with people being picky about things and then like, oh, is it their fault? No. So what you have to do is when you're going to a relationship, try to consider for a moment that while you might have preferences about their junk, and there are a lot of preferences to have, you know, in the end, they didn't choose. So are you gonna, you know, dump them, or are you gonna cut them up, or are you gonna like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. I was expecting mother monster cock. Like, people on both sides. There's people who like cut and people who don't. And some people are very strong in their views. Like, if it's not what they want, I ain't hungry. Okay. Yeah, they don't want it anyway. So, excuse me. Point being, another thing that unfortunately is picked apart, and guys have to deal with it, whether they're cut or not. I'd also like to bring up the fact that this video seems to bring a lot of attention to parts on a guy, whereas a lot of people think it's always about girls. Oh, their butts and their boobs and stuff, which I'm not taking away any of the importance, or I'm not taking anything away from that. I understand a lot of pressure is put on girls. But you have to understand, this one part of a guy, there's so many things about them that girls or guys might not like, that if you're complaining about guys being too picky, you gotta consider this too. The last determinant on the docket is something that people aren't very familiar with. There are two types of conditions. These are skin conditions. So what happens is, first you have number one called Fordyce spots. I believe they're called Fordyce. Anyway, and what happens is these are sebaceous glands. So like, basically, to put it in layman's terms, it's like acne on your penis. Now, this is, oh, and by the way, my right side of my face is turning different colors. I don't know why. But basically, yeah, so it's basically oil glands on the skin. So it's something that's completely normal, very common among males to different degrees. Some males have it a lot more than others do. But what they are is they're small circles, a few millimeters in thickness, and they're basically like small little circles that cover the skin. They're not like acne in a sense, they don't look red, but they're like a pale yellow color, and some people have them, like hundreds of them. Some people have a few of them, but a lot of men have them, and even women have them too on their vaginas. Some people have them on their lips and stuff like that. Anyway, so those are called Fordyce spots. So Fordyce. If you're interested in looking those up, go ahead. and learn more. A lot of people have those, and a lot of, I'll say males in particular for this situation, but they feel very embarrassed and they feel uncomfortable explaining them to their partner because they're not herpes. Now, when I say they're not herpes, that doesn't mean you should just go, oh, that's probably a Fordyce spot, so no, check them out, make sure it's not herpes or something else. But you have to understand that there are conditions of the skin that aren't very commonly talked about, but they're natural. So there's Fordyce spots, which usually they can go from the balls to the shaft, anywhere on the penis. There's also, the second condition of the skin is called PPP, Pearly Penile Papules. So you can look that up as well. And when those happen, they're right under the head of the penis. And they're, I don't know if they're from sebaceous glands, but anyway,